What up, bitches? It's the MisanthropikOne, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant/review. Today, I'd like to talk about this album right here, Ritz's latest album, or debut album, I should say, on Strange Music, called The Life and Times of Jonny Valiant. For those of you who've never heard of this dude before, he's an MC from Georgia, and he's been out for a while now. On the CD, he says he's been rapping since '92. But as far as being in the limelight, I guess, just the last couple years, maybe a little bit prior to that, you know, I just really got into this guy. I've heard of him through Yellow Wolf, and both of them came up. They have a little side group called Slumerican, and you know, a lot of people kept talking about Rittz. You know, he dropped a couple mixtapes, especially one called White Jesus, I believe. That one that was really the one that got him buzzing. I personally haven't heard that one, but a lot of people have told me, yo, you would love that shit. But I heard of him through Yellow Wolf, and you know, I just didn't follow him like that. But shout out to my man Junior Perez. You know, he was the one that said, yo, Yellow Wolf is my favorite motherfucker off of Strange Music. So I said, okay, fine. I went to go pick up R.A. the Rugged Man CD, and this one came out at the same time. And thank you, Junior Perez, for recommending this motherfucker to me and everybody else. I love this dude. This album is fucking great, and let me get into it real quick. As far as his style, I've heard someone call him the White Twister because of his use of double and triple time flow. Like, he raps rapidly, and you know, that's one thing that's his strength. His greatest attribute is that, and his ability to switch up his pitch. I fucking love that about Rittz right here. His subject matter is cool too, which I'll get into a little bit later in the video. Let's talk about production on this bitch. We have the producers, Track Bangers, 5 Points Music Group, Miguel M. Stacks Brown Jr., Stepan Lifted Taft, Casper Brightside, Coop Take Off on Them, Jonah Maddock-Lee Appleby, Mike Posner, Rittz himself, known as Jonathan McCullum, that's his real name, and the executive producer is Travis O'Gwin. If you're into Strange Music, I think Travis O'Gwin oversees most, if not all, of the shit that comes out on there, so that's no surprise. The sound on this album has a southern feel. I'm not gonna lie about that. It uses that one southern snare that's in every fucking southern song, but it's a lot of the beats are based off of his rapid flow. It's like, or I don't want to say that, because the beats are submitted to the rapper first so they can rap over it, but it just seems to go with his flow perfectly. Beat wise, I have no complaints. It has definitely a southern feel to it, but it fits into the whole Strange Music roster. You know, Strange Music's production is mostly clean, and I don't want to say too boom bap-ish, but it is. It's kind of strange music, but if you listen to it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't really put it into words, but the production on here, it fits Ritz's style perfectly, so I have no problem with the production. As for the features on here, you have Big K.R.I.T, Mike Posner, Sugar Free, Tech Nine, Chris Calico, and Yellow Wolf. So you got 16 tracks. a few features. Y'all know how I feel about that. I'd rather there be few features on the shit. I want the artist to shine. And the features that are on here, they do their thing. They're not too fucking overbearing. You knew that Tech-9 and K.R.I.T had to appear on this shit. You know, it's a strange music project. So yeah, I'm glad though that Rittz got to shine. I got to absorb all of Ritz's energy and his content. He gave him a chance to shine, and features did their thing. So shout out to the features. Okay, let's talk about some of my favorite or highlight tracks on the album. Track 1, intro, self-explanatory is an intro. Track 2, my interview. Love that track. Basically, the concept of the song is he is being interviewed by a reporter, and he's being asked these annoying, frequently asked questions that he's answered various times in interviews. Like, for example, where did the name Rittz come from? What's up with his hair? Where does he come from? And it makes you understand that some of these questions could be kind of annoying and tedious. So definitely love that track. That's my interview. I'm gonna skip ahead to track 4, Fuck Swag. Y'all already know, those that are subscribed to me, how I feel about that shit. I definitely agree with Rittz on that, and what makes me like the song even more is he was interviewed about that statement and he's sticking by it. He's not being like all these other sucker rappers that will say something and then they want to sort of back out or retract what they're saying because they don't want to offend anybody. So just based on the name of that track alone, y'all should already know that I'm into that shit. Track 5, Wasting Time, featuring Big K.R.I.T. This track is basically Rittz and Big K.R.I.T regretting time being wasted on getting drunk and high, and just bad decisions that were made in life. So that was really great. K.R.I.T came in, delivered an awesome fucking verse. I'm gonna move ahead to track 6, Going In. Like the title implies, it's Rittz going in on this beat heavy, but what I love about this track is the last verse, how he covers how people are so obsessed with rappers being in the Illuminati and other dumbass theories that people have when it comes to MCs and shit, and I really love how he covered that shit. I never really made a video on that. I plan on doing it, but Rittz basically hit the nail on the head when it comes to that stupid Illuminati bullshit in that final verse. Check that track out and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Track 7, Always Gonna Be, featuring Mike Posner. Mike Posner is on the hook. He does his thing on there, and basically on that song, Rittz is talking about how his relationship is always being tested because he has a significant other, and his relationship is always being tested via Facebook groupies and women approaching him and shit. And basically it's one of the trials and tribulations of being an artist, unfortunately, or a famous artist. Let's see. Track 10, For Real. Someone told me about that track. I forget who it was, and someone hit me up and said, I don't know if you would like track 10 because it has auto-tune on it. And a lot of y'all know how much I fucking can't stand auto-tune. But for this track, this is one of the exceptions to me, because the way he flipped it on here, where he was moving his pitch up and down, rhyming fast and shit, you know, I instantly fell in love with the track. You know, at first I heard it and I started cringing, but the more and more I listened to it, the more I fell in love with the track. So shout out to Rittz for that shit. Let's see what else I could move on to. track 15, Heaven, featuring Yellow Wolf. Don't quote me on this one, I might be wrong, but I believe that that track is about drug use, because I believe it's either meth or heroin. Well, I think it's meth that people say that they experience heaven with, and just based on some of the lyrics in there, I'm assuming that it's about drug use. I think it's meth or heroin. See, I'm not a drug addict, so I don't know, but I know I've heard it with, I think, both those drugs. So don't quote me on it. Correct me if I'm wrong about it. I don't want to misquote Yellow Wolf or Rittz, so let me know if I'm wrong on that. Track 16, the final track, All Around the World, is basically giving thanks to all the fans, all the motherfuckers that put him on, like Yellow Wolf, obviously Tech-9, and the motherfuckers at Strange Music that are his family. All the fans, like there's one guy that actually has a tattoo of Rittz on him, and if you go on Ritz's Tumblr, you can see it. It's on the guy's calf. I actually looked it up. So this guy's getting love all around the world. So yeah, that's it for the tracks. My rating of this shit, I would give it in between an 8 and a 9. I really love this shit. While I was on my hiatus, this was one of the albums that I kept in steady rotation along with R.A.'s album. I just kept switching both those bitches out. And Rittz, I'm a fucking official fan now. Shout out to my niggas at Strange Music. Y'all already know, they know who I am, so I'm not even gonna sit here and shout out everybody by name. So shout out to Strange Music. Definitely shout out to Rittz. Thank you. Keep putting out dope ass shit. Everybody else, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe. Support dope ass shit. That's it. Peace, bitches.